Hey everybody, today we're going to be going over the 5.12 update. This is update 1.178.1. We'll start by going over the patch notes and then we'll kind of jump into where things are and some things that aren't actually in the patch notes. It's kind of a very common thing for Top War. They'll update things, but it won't be in the patch notes. So I'll try to point those out the best that I can. And there are a few things that we still don't fully know how they work or what's going to happen with them, but we'll talk about them and I'll be sure to try to update that later on once we get it a little more clear for you. So we'll start with there's a new event, Paint the Color. That event isn't out yet. It might be out probably next Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on when your events start. Optimization, you can see the preview of the exclusive skills. I mean, that's just kind of you can see them. I mean, nothing really that fancy. Alliance infrastructure, this is a very, very big update. I'll talk about that a lot more in depth a little later in the video. Tywin's exclusive skills now has a gathering speed at 3, 5, and 7. That is determined on your star level and your hero level, so the amount does change based on what level and what star level your hero is. Daily free spin we won't know about until Lucky Wheel event rolls around. The expedition, it got some huge upgrades for just performance. It's not anything that really changed it, but it looks a lot neater and it works a lot faster. The optimization for sharing to chats is a little cleaner, a little easier to understand what's actually going on. And here's some server related things. So they separated the individual rankings for the two servers. So in other words, your server and the other server will be separate. I don't know if that means that they're going to update the rewards so that each server gets a full set of rewards, or if they divided it out and lowered the rewards. So that's something that we'll be able to cover after the next server when I do my regular recap. You get more points for killing enemies in the points of objective, the ruins, the silo, and the capital. I think that's a great update to make. The event's supposed to be about those, so I think it definitely puts pressure to actually participate in trying to take those. This part right here, if you take over the opponent's ruins and capital, it will enter the at peace status, which means the opponents can't attack you right away. So it sounds like if you take something over, they're going to give you a little bit of a buffer so that you can send your reinforcements so you have a full march. So if you fight somebody with 100 units and 50 of them get wounded, you don't have somebody coming in right behind you and killing those 50 units when you're an easy target. So I don't know how I feel about that. That kind of defeats the purpose of knowing how to strategically attack, but at the same time, it makes it more fun for everybody. So I kind of understand why they did that. This is a huge one. I really like this. Killing points decrease as the level gap increases. So if you're level, like it says, if you're level 80 and you kill a level 59, you won't get any points for it. That's good because that makes it so that everybody can participate, and hopefully the level 80s will stop picking on the smaller guys. Obviously, they still need to be able to take over runes and things like that, but it's nice that they're making it so it's not worth points, so that maybe those 80s won't go wipe the hives of the 59s and things like that. And then this last one is, after winning the server, the opponent's leader will not resign if you didn't take over the capital. So what this means is, if you're not sitting in the capital at the end, your opponent's capital, and you're the winning team, the other leader actually won't be unseated if you aren't in their capital. So if server 968 is the winner of the server war, like they were, and they weren't sitting in our capital at the very end of the war, our last leader from our capital contest would still be the leader. So in other words, this makes it so you could still have a leader even if the other leader doesn't, or even if the other server wins server. I have a feeling there might be some rewards that go along with this, kind of like I mentioned in my server video, that might actually be kind of good, but we'll see what happens once that event rolls around. And then there's a bunch of bug fixes. So I'll show you I can't really show you bug fixes because I'd have to have the bug. Basically, there are a bunch of things where you click it and it shows something else. So with that, we'll jump into the infrastructure first. So what the infrastructure is this lovely little building right here. We chose the R&D one to allow our smaller members to grow, as a lot of us, the larger members, have a lot of resources, and we'll rotate this around to what's best suited for us. But what you're able to do is, through donating, you gain points. And you'll see those up in this right-hand corner. They're those little star with a blue symbol in the middle. As you donate, you'll see that number went up. And it's kind of dark because of them graying out the screen in the background, but you'll see my donation gives 320 of those points. Once that hits 1 million, you're able to come into your Alliance Territory button, maybe, and go into the far right tab, which is now available to everybody, and you're able to choose one of these buildings. And how this works is once you get 1 million points, you're able to build one of these, and you place it into the world. So as you can see, we're in the world right now, and we place this. Once you click it, you'll be able, and you initially place it in the world, everybody will be able to send marches there to build it. There is a cap on how many troops can go in there, but I'll tell you, we had 40 members in there, and we still had like 1,500 troop space. It seems to go off of unit number, not unit power. So you're able to send a lot of troops here. I was the first person in it, and I know that originally it said it would take 2.5 days to build it. But once I posted it and everybody joined, we got it down to about, I think it was 4 hours it took to build this, maybe even less. And then if you're able to fill that up completely, you might get it down to as low as 2 hours. So that's kind of a big thing. And then once it happens, you'll actually see everybody will get a mail about what happened. So it's saying we built the R&D database, and now you can go there and gather. So with gathering in this building, you are given R&D. I don't actually need R&D, so I'll be pulling out of this building very soon, but this is great for other members that do. And what it is you can see right now it takes me 46 hours, 27 minutes, and I would gather 4.57k R&D. That's not huge, but with that, once you put gathering heroes in there, that time does go down and you're able to gather more faster. So, like I said, I'm actually going to be pulling out of there. Kind of another update that came along with this infrastructure thing as a way to get points is a lot of you know all about the barns and the oil rigs and the gold mining facilities. You now gain those blue points also from those. So you'll see on this march right here, I recalled this just a little bit ago, actually a couple hours ago, and you'll see I gained 1.27k of those blue points. So getting those blue points won't be hard once you're actually actively gathering and actively donating, but that's just another way to get it, and you get them for free. So, and as you saw with the general R&D database, I gained 26 R&D there for sitting in the building. And once the building does finish, your troops automatically stay in there unless you recall them. And everybody is able to sit in this building. They're all able to send one march. And it will go until your amount here, I'll highlight that. The amount located right here under the storage where it says 89.1k out of 90.0k. That means that that building has 90.0k resources to give to all the members of the Alliance. And what happens is once that's done building, or once that's done, whether it's this timer on the left where that timer goes for 3 days, or you run out of resources, that will disappear and you'll be able to build your next one. You are only able to build one of these at a time, so don't rush once you build your first one to worry about getting enough points. As you can see, we're already at 709,000 points, so we'll be there to the million mark again by the end of the day. And come 3 days when this building disappears, we will definitely have enough points to start the next one. Another huge thing about this building is your troops are safe in there. They cannot attack you in here. They cannot scout you in there. The only thing they're able to do is look at your building. So if you want to save a march, if you're in the middle of a war and you want to save one of your marches and you don't have enough gems for a shield, or you're going to be off for a really long time, a couple days, and you won't be able to shield up, you can put a march into there, make sure it lasts long enough, and you would be able to save one of your marches from dying. Just a note with that, make sure that the building's going to last long enough before you rely on that too heavily. The next kind of big update was Tywin's skill. So as you can see, Tywin's skill currently as it stands, He is able to reload quickly and deal another attack on a target with a damage rate of 121.5%. What you are able to do now is you are able to come in here and equip his skill. So if I equip his skill right now, you will see that he now has a 15% gather rate also, plus that rate that from his original skill goes up to 8%. As you can see also, if you go to level 5, it increases to 30%. So that's a 15% increase over his level 3 skills. So that's a huge increase for gathering. Tywin, if you have this skill, is now going to be one of your main gatherers. So get that skill to level 3, and he will start being an amazing gatherer for everybody. I'm just going to switch this back so I don't forget. Some other small changes. The VIP store that used to be doo-doo, it has been updated. There's a lot different items in here, and there's a lot better discounts. You can see already in the upper left hand before this video, I bought these level 3 component chests. It was a limit of 5 for this week, and each was 1 gem. You have large VIT capsules, so these are 50 pots for 100 gems each. Also extremely useful, and being that there's a gem event going on right now, I'm going to purchase those, even though I don't need them. I'll need them at some point in the future. 200 gems for an orange shard isn't the best deal, but at the same time, it's still a pretty good deal. These formations are great if you have the assault parts. And then 160 for orange shard is a really good deal. It's not the absolute best deal. Things like the gotcha event and hero return are actually cheaper in the long run. But 160 for 3, you can't really pass that up. A lot of this other stuff in here is also very, very good deals. So scroll through here, see what you have. Don't miss out on these. Class perk speed ups. If you have enough resources to be speeding up your research, definitely suggest getting those. 20% off may not seem like a lot, but in the long run, and especially during a gem gift event where once you spend a certain amount of gems, you get rewards. I mean, it's kind of hard not to snatch things up like that. So that's another thing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that was a real major change. The VIP store, you had the infrastructure. Oh, they added another Alliance Tech donation to the runes. This is one of those things where I was saying I don't really know what it's going to do if we upgrade it, but you're able to click on these donate buttons and donate to the runes directly. It looks like if you donate it, you might get some better rewards, or maybe you'll gather faster. Not really sure how that works, but we haven't been able to figure out what exactly happens. Oh, I don't want to abandon that. Let's see if we go to it, if there's a better tooltip on it. Oh. There might be a better tooltip on it that will make it easier to read, but I doubt that. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about what happens with the donations. So once we figure that out, I will let you guys know. But it doesn't really tell us what is going on with these runes yet, and it's kind of a bummer that they don't put better tooltips on a lot of this stuff, because it would be nice to know what is happening with it. Yeah, you see, there's nothing here. We're able to donate, but that just brings us right to the donation screen, so you can go find the rune to donate to it also. But I'm guessing it's going to give you either some kind of buff to whatever the reward is, or maybe once you hit the donation mark, it will automatically hold it for you or something like that. With that, I believe that's kind of all the big changes in this update. Other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more content. I will try to do these update videos from now on. Now that I kind of understand it, I have learned to understand Top War's language and how they translate things. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. See ya.